What is up? This is your LA in a minute, and I'm here at a truck stop called the Flying J in Lebec, a town just north of the Los Angeles County border out here in Kern. It's also the site of the largest heist in American history, where up to $100 million of jewels were stolen from the back of a Brinks truck in a caper that is still unsolved. That is, until now. Yesterday, a sealed indictment was announced by the U.S. Attorney's Office that showed charges against 7 men, all from Southern California, accused in playing a part of the bag theft that contained the jewelry, gems, watches, and other precious items. This is big news, as authorities have been working around the clock for almost 3 years since the caper took place, and the charges against the 7 alleged criminals are massive. So without further ado, I'm going to play the rest of the original video and explain the sleuthing afterwards. Let's get into it. So this Flying J is a high-trafficked area in the foothills of Lebec off the 5. Truck drivers stop to refill for gas or refill for food, and that's exactly what 2 Brinks truck drivers were doing on the night of July 11th, 2022, when they were transporting millions of dollars of jewels from an international jewelry show in San Mateo to a similar show in Pasadena. The jewelry show circuit is hardly glamorous. It's itinerant, sales are inconsistent, and many sellers buy on consignment, meaning they don't need to pay the supplier until the piece actually sells. An agreement that requires hard work, hustle, and trust. And there's quite a wide array of items on sale at these shows, from decorative beads, gems, and stones, to Rolexes, rings, and diamonds. As the San Mateo show was wrapping up, the manager noticed a man sitting on a folding chair at the back of the event watching everyone. The man wasn't supposed to be there, and an announcement was made at the show alerting people to the presence of suspicious people on site. Security guards escorted the man out, at which point the manager alerted the Brinks truck drivers who were hired to drive most of the jewels to the next show in Pasadena. Interestingly enough, the jewels were to be loaded into a Brinks tractor trailer in lieu of their standard armor car because they wanted to put all the bags in one vehicle. The cab was armored, but the trailer was not, though the Brinks drivers were indeed armed. The drivers loaded 73 bags weighing 70 to 100 pounds each, all identically wrapped in orange plastic with no indication as to what was inside, except for a color-coded tag supposedly representing the cash value of the contents. At approximately 8:25 p.m., the 2 Brinks employees hit the road on Interstate 5 to head south. And per the Department of Transportation rules, one driver was driving, and one of the Brinks employees was bedding down and sleeping inside the cabin, again, per the rules, which dictate off-duty time and a specific amount of rest. At about 2 a.m., the driver stopped just over the Dahome Pass at the Flying J in Lebec. The 2 Brinks truck employees had been on the road for hours, and they stopped to get some food. And that's where the story gets murky. While one of the employees went inside to get his meal, the other remained sleeping in the cabin of the truck, and that's when the heist took place. In the 27 minutes that the one employee was inside getting food and eating, 22 bags out of a total 74 bags filled with jewelry were stolen from the back of the Brinks truck, which was only locked with a padlock and plastic tape. Wow. The driver returned to the truck and saw that the plastic seal had been removed and the padlock on the back of the truck had been cut away. The other Brinks employee who was sleeping said he did not hear anything during this time. LA County Sheriff Department was notified before the employees did an inventory, and when they did count the bags, only 49 of the 73 initial bags of jewels were still in the truck. Now, it's been reported that the thieves did not just take the bags willy-nilly. In fact, quite the contrary. They took bags that were located in the back of the truck, which may indicate that they were hand-picked, potentially because of the tags that indicated their value. Now, what that actual value was inside this Brinks truck is up for debate. A large amount of jewelry business is conducted at these shows, and though prior to the shipment, the jewelers signed manifests indicating that the jewelry was worth $8.7 million, it's standard practice for jewelers to assign lower values to reduce shipping fees and insurance. Estimates have recorded that the actual haul was worth $100 million. Wow. And that led to a lawsuit filed by the jewelers demanding $100 million in restitution and $100 million in damages, claiming that the tractor trailer was parked in a poorly lit location and had an easily defeated lock, and lack security allowed the jewels and gems to be stolen right from under the noses of the drivers. Brinks, on the other hand, said that if the jewelers declared their jewels to be worth more, they would have implemented tighter security methods. It's worth noting that the LA County Sheriff's Department Major Crimes Bureau and the FBI have considered whether this was an inside job, though no further information was given about those efforts or investigations. As far as the jewels, they're likely gone. Industry veterans say that jewelry and metals have probably been altered or melted to make them unrecognizable and untraceable, and precious stones would have been recut and polished to remove identifying marks. In other words, the jewels are likely gone without a trace, and any leads from the show or the Flying J have not turned into anything significant at this point, except lawsuits, heartbreak, and a huge mystery. But that all changed yesterday with the big announcement of the indictment. So how did these thieves get caught? Well, though no investigative techniques or evidence such as surveillance, forensic analysis, or informant tips that led authorities as suspects has been released at this point, turns out the alleged thieves had previous experience robbing trucks and lots and truck stops all throughout San Bernardino County. That includes a truck carrying Samsung electronics from Ontario barely a month prior to the major heist, as well as a previous score of a box truck carrying Apple AirTags when the driver stopped for food in Fontana. Now here's the list of suspects, all of them from Southern California, most of them from greater Los Angeles, and they allege that one of the suspects, Giselle Padilla-Resto, spent days casing out the show, while three of the other suspects allegedly scouted the Brinks semi-truck loaded with the bags, and once that left, they followed the southbound Brinks truck, utilizing cell phone numbers that would eventually be deactivated. Now, some of the stolen jewelry was recovered after search warrants were executed last Tuesday. In addition, they recovered a large amount of cash, but search warrants are still being pursued, and many of the stolen jewels do remain missing. As far as what's going to happen to the jewelers or Brinks, well, that's going to take a while longer to unwind. But again, so this Flying J here in Lebec may look like a typical gas station, convenience area, and truck stop, but it's also the site of the largest heist in American history. All right, LA, it's been a minute.